Welcome to an all-new Lay It Omni. Allow me to lay it on you. Alright guys, before I jump into things, I'd just like to say that today is day 21 of me uploading daily videos every day for the rest of my life. You heard correctly, that's 3 weeks in a row.
Oh baby, a triple!
I honestly can't believe we've made it this far, and I'm starting to think that maybe this challenge is too easy, you know? So I decided to take it a step further. Last night on Twitter, while I was drunk off some red wine, I tweeted 200,000 subscribers by the end of November, or I quit YouTube forever. On God. That means as of today, we have to somehow obtain 55,000 subscribers by the end of the month. Now, unrealistic? Yes. But is it improbable? Also yes. But anyway, screw it, let's just see what happens. I'm counting on you guys to tell your mom and your dad and your sister and your brother and your dog about my channel so that they can sub. So let's see, let's just see, okay? If it don't happen, then well, I guess I'll just quit YouTube. Anyway, back to the topic on hand. I'm not sure if you guys were aware, but Facebook is canceled. This is actually old news. Facebook has been canceled for a while now. If you're using Facebook in 2020, you're either some kind of mutant or you're 54 and you use it to keep track of what your grandchildren are doing. If you're using Facebook outside of anything just to keep track of like birthdays, please enlighten me on any of its like usage. Here's how it works, okay? Twitter is the toxic cesspool for depressed and angry people to verbally shout at accounts with verified check marks. Instagram is where you go to feel bad because everyone is posting about how their life is so great when secretly it's probably just as bad as yours. However, Facebook is the loudest, low-quality echo chamber where everyone shares the same recycled clickbait videos over and over that the guys over on Reddit saw maybe 3 or 4 months ago. Now, back in 2018, you probably remember seeing screenshots of Mark Zuckerberg in court looking like a robot and people wondering if he's actually a human or not. Well, here's a TLDR of what happened. Basically, Facebook sells your data, but for commercial purposes, the price is really high. They also offer data to academics at a lower cost, but it requires consent from users to participate in the research. The process for verifying consent is very streamlined, involving little to no checking by Facebook. So a university professor buys an academic license. He secretly works for a company which is called Cambridge Analytica, who created an app which is called This Is Your Digital Life. In order to use that app, users have to give their consent to allow access to their Facebook data. Roughly around 300,000 users downloaded and used the app. However, because the privacy settings for a lot of these users were very low, the professor is able to go in and pull data from all of their friends and their friends of friends. They're able to basically get about 50 million users and all of their information and data. This information was then handed over to Cambridge Analytica to build a model for a voting behavior. They then offered this model commercially to politically candidates for money. So that's it. That whole scandal led to Facebook being investigated on how like user data was being weaponized and tracked, and ultimately Facebook having to change their privacy policies again. There's basically no surprise that your data is being used by big business to try to influence you to do things or buy things. Okay, that's old news. If that's new news to you, well now you know. However, Facebook is getting canceled again. Facebook has lost over 2 million users and rising in the past 3 months. Now, here's where things get a little confusing, okay? Facebook is saying the cause of their huge decrease in users is due to the pandemic. I'm not 100% certain how that works since the pandemic is forcing most people to stay indoors and use social media more. Like, for example, Twitch has been doing exceptionally well ever since the pandemic started, so but yeah, that's what they say in their earnings statements and that's what they tell the public. What they're not saying is that in September, Netflix released a documentary called The Social Dilemma, which is basically like a Facebook exposed video. The description of the video from Wikipedia is as follows. The Social Dilemma is a 2020 American docudrama film directed by a bunch of dudes. The film explores the rise of social media and the damage it has caused to society, focusing on its exploitation of its users for financial gain through surveillance, capitalism, and data mining. How its design is meant to nurture an addiction, its use in politics, its effects on mental health, including the mental health of adolescents and rising teen suicide rates, and its role in spreading conspiracy theories such as Pizzagate and aiding groups such as Flat Earthers. The film features interviews with many individuals who give first-hand experiences of working in and around the tech industry. The interviewees state that the existence of social media platforms and big tech have been instrumental in providing positive change for society. However, some decisions and paradigms have caused consequences that are problematic. Throughout the documentary, many former employees, executives, executives and other professionals from top tech, social media, and research backgrounds give their input on the problems that can be found on the variety of online platforms. These interviews are cut together with dramatizations which tell the story of a teenager's social media addiction interlaced with a representation of how a social media algorithm powered by artificial intelligence may work. Now, some of you are probably thinking, Omni, why should I care about any of this? Okay, dude, like I'm halfway into your video. I'm zoning out. I'm about to click out. Like, I get it. Everybody sucks. So tell me something I don't know. Well, in case you haven't watched The Social Dilemma or if you haven't been following what's currently being revealed, the data that is being extracted and weaponized is actually more dangerous than it actually sounds. First of all, the information these companies are extracting from you are extremely detailed, bro. Like, it can record how many seconds you stare at models on Instagram, posts and videos that you've clicked and posts and videos that you've scrolled past, what you eat, what you buy, what you read, and all this data that you don't even know is being harvested from you to passively manipulate you and everyone around you. And it also creates what's called a consumer score. This isn't like a credit score that you know about, okay? It's hidden from you and it's used to determine what kind of products companies will sell to you, what you can afford, what you can't afford, and depending on your score, you can even receive like better treatment from certain companies from others. Now, on an individual scale, this kind of power may like seem harmless, okay? Most of you probably don't care, and I don't blame you, okay? I'm kind of in the same boat, okay? I don't care if people are getting information on how many waifus I look at on Instagram or whatever. I don't care. However, in a grand scale, this ability to manipulate data and how information is given to like millions of people can passively dictate what people see. For example, if I passively throw in an article that says, I don't know, oranges are bad, you know, on your social media on ads every day over the passage of say like a few months, you may have seen that ad or sentence long enough to come to the conclusion that, hey, oranges are bad, even if you haven't clicked that actual link, just because it keeps getting shoved in your face every day. That's a very stupid example, but the power of information algorithms and manipulating and influencing people is it's stupid strong. It's borderline OP in gaming terms. What's even more scary is when this information gets taken and used by politicians or sometimes stolen and used by other countries. And here's the thing, here's the kicker, okay? Even if you don't use Facebook, even if you don't use some of these social medias, they can still find you and track your information through your friends. Like, it's crazy stuff. So that's why Facebook is canceled and that's why it's trending all over again. The impact of The Social Dilemma is creating like this new avalanche wave of more people to stop using its services. In retrospect, the entire thing is basically a form of fear mongering, okay? They're trying to scare you. However, it's substantiated with hard evidence over long periods of time and it's factual, it's true. Seeing actual ex-employees of Facebook who have quit Facebook because of what Facebook is doing, well, that's a statement. Obviously, it works in their favor because they get to be part of a cool Netflix drama, but the ramifications of exposing such a big company sounds dangerous to me. Like, I don't want any part of it, okay? I would be too afraid to snitch on Facebook because you know they got some powerful people trying to keep you silenced. Personally, I find all of this fascinating. If you weren't aware, in October, Facebook actually responded to the presence of The Social Dilemma, suggesting that its contents were sensationalized and exaggerated, basically saying that the film isn't very honest and that there's a lot of misinformation being spread. Personally, I don't care to fact check who's telling the truth between a multi-billion-dollar company and another multi-billion-dollar company, but this whole thing is just revealing the ongoing war on information and data. And the reason why it's trending again is because after Facebook revealed its decline in users as of Q3, which is quarter 3, the fight begins again and people begin spreading this information to emphasize the real reasons why Facebook is declining. So you'll probably hear more about this later on this year. Anyway, that's all I have for this episode of Late Omni. You just been laid. Moral of the story, your data is being tracked and the FBI will be at your doorstep at any minute now. You know, I find like I'm kind of half and half on the situation, perhaps because I'm looking at it from like an individual level, you know? Like, I'm not doing anything illegal, so if companies want to see my incredibly cursed web browser history, then so be it. But also, I get the ramifications and how it affects, you know, like people as a whole. Personally, I don't get how you fight a company or companies that already have so many people under its control, you know? Like, I suppose it's the spreading of documentaries like The Social Dilemma. Plus, I guess even this video, I guess. What do you call it? Awareness? So if you weren't aware, now you are. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of this whole thing in the comments below, okay? I still have Facebook. Like, it's installed. I don't use it. It's still on my phone. A part of me doesn't delete it because, like, I don't want to stop being connected to, you know, like, friends and families. Like, you know, when I first started using the browser, it was to connect with close friends and family. And I know without it that I'm eliminating that connection, and I'll probably never know how these people are doing ever again, or just forget about a majority of them altogether. So that's my excuse, okay? I get why people are deactivating, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you made it to the end of the video, do me a solid, okay? Leave a like, it means the world to me, you have no idea. And also subscribe if you haven't, okay, silly? We gotta hit 55,000 subs by the end of the month, guys. That's, when you do the math, that's, oh man. We gotta average like 1,500 new subscribers a day, bro. What was I thinking? Oh my god. All right, we got some work to do, okay? What's the saying? If you believe it, you can achieve it, right? Isn't that what they taught us in elementary school? So let's put our academics to use and let's go out there and get them, tigers. Anyway, go drink your water. It's November, aka No Nut November, aka Don't Nut. So yeah, I'm gonna go nut right now. Like, fuck all that noise. What? Anyway, okay, I'll see you guys later. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good one. Like, why you... The music's more scary than anything. Ah!